So I thought I'd give you an update on the truck. As you know, we've had some problems with it this year. This first year we've really had any significant problems. We've had a thermostat go out a couple times, but other than that, we've not really had too many problems with it. It's coming up on 11 years old, so in January, February time frame, it'll be 11. I think, I mean, the license plate says February, but I feel like we got it in January. But regardless, it's coming up on 11 and really hasn't caused us any problems. I think it's got 93,000 miles on it, and the bulk of those miles we put on, I think, in the first 2 years. We were driving back and forth to work with it. But since then, I said in a previous video maybe 10,000 a year, but it's since then we've probably been putting on about 6,000 a year, 6 or 7. So it's been a great truck. It's a 4-cylinder and it has done everything we've needed. It took us around the country. We had a pop-up camper that we pulled for a while, and then we put a homemade truck camper on it. Took us from, well, just everywhere. Then brought home all the firewood. Helped us, bring all the materials home for the house, and it has just been a fantastic truck. And it's, I was doing some research on this. This thing's got the same amount of horsepower, probably not the same torque, but the same horsepower as, the 1970s Trans Am. And this is a 4-cylinder, so, they really made these things really efficient and powerful. So I really like it. I know that, back in the late 90s, I think it was 97, I had a Chevy S10. And it definitely didn't have the power this has. And then I had a 92 Chevy S10. It was a 6-cylinder, and I would say it didn't have the power this has. So I really like this truck. But I'm not in a hurry to replace it. So you know that earlier this year we had a code that come up, and I tried everything. Variable valve timing valves, changed the oil, new pressure sensor twice. So the variable valve timing I changed twice, pressure sensor, oil pressure sensor changed twice. And I decided that I was going to change the oil and go up a viscosity level. So instead of 5W20, which is what the truck requires, I went up to 5W30. Now the mechanic said that wouldn't have made a difference in the world, but it did. So I did a lot of studying. I mean, probably 6 months worth of studying, trying to understand oils. And I just don't agree with him. I mean, whatever it was, it's fixed now. We've not had that code. The code cleared. And I probably spent $300 or $400 getting that fixed. Can't change, you can't say all of the cost was because of the repair. I mean, I changed the oil one time, and I also changed the, I forget what they're called, EBC, whatever valves. You got to change those occasionally. I went and changed those. That's just normal maintenance stuff. So, but then recently we were having a problem, and it wasn't throwing a code. Now, the mechanic said it wasn't throwing the code because I kept resetting it, but I don't think that's what it was. I don't think it was going to throw a code. I don't think there was a code involved. So what it was is we had the oil pressure was shooting up to 80 psi, which is max. The air conditioner wasn't working. The cooling fan here at the radiator was kicking on and wouldn't shut off. And the thermometer, engine temperature, wasn't going up at all. It just, so I thought it was a computer issue. I kept resetting the computer, and eventually I just got where I was just taking the negative battery cable off every time I would park, and then put it back on when we were getting ready to go somewhere. It wouldn't do it if the engine was warm, but if we let it sit overnight, it would do it. Now the temperature was warmer during that period, so that may have had something to do with it. I feel like it might have, but I don't know. And it just continuously got worse until I had to do that every time. So I finally took it to the mechanic. The mechanic said, well, it's not coding. It took a week for him to take a look at this. Finally, he got up to 90 degrees one day, and he said he could get it to duplicate what I was saying. Now, the thing is that before that, I don't think he was really looking at what I told him. I told him all the issues we were having. I don't think he really heard that. But I called him and we went through it again. I went through everything that it was doing again. And I also had some more information because while I was there, he said, well, one of the temperature thermometer, your temperature sensors could be malfunctioning. And I hadn't thought of that. So I came back, did a bunch of research for that week. And then it occurred to me that there are two temperature sensors and they compare between the two of them. And if there's a big difference between the two, then it goes into safe mode. Safe mode is it kicks on that cooling fan, shuts off the air conditioner, compressor. It increases oil pressure because it needs more oil. Now he said I could run it that way without resetting the computer, but I was afraid that the oil pressure was so high it was going to start blowing out seals. And Google says it will. If you run it too high for too long, it will blow seals. That's only a quick little thing to turn on the variable valve timing, to open those up. So anyway, he changed it out. And it seems to have resolved the issue. We haven't had that problem again, although we haven't been up to 90 degrees yet. So we may have to wait until next year to find out if it actually fixed it. I'm gonna be really disappointed if it didn't. When we picked it up, we went straight to town and it overheated when we were coming back home. And so I got to looking in there and the fluid, the coolant was low. So I had some in the truck, I filled it back up. And we've ran it 2 or 3 times since then, back and forth to town and just picked up a lawnmower, I think we picked up a push mower. Oh, and we picked up a pressure snow blower. So different things that we've done, and it hasn't overheated again. And everything seems to be working fine. So I think we have it resolved. Now it's coming up for inspection. Here in Missouri, you don't have to have an inspection until your car's 10 years old. Well, it's going to be 11 the next time. I guess 12. It'll be 12 when we have to go and get it inspected. So I'm going to have to get new tires. That's $400 and brakes. So we'll do that next summer-ish time frame. Maybe even the fall. I also got to get my driver's license renewed too. So that has me a little worried because my right eye is bad. I think I can pass. I mean, I keep testing myself with my left eye, and you can drive with one eye, they say so. So anyway, so the brakes I'm going to do myself. I think I can change those out. I've done that before in the past on other cars. These are a bit different. They have pads on both sides of the caliper, which I've never done before. But it doesn't look like you even have to take the caliper off, so that's a plus. And I'll get new. I don't know. I may get new. I don't know. I don't think I need new rotors. So I had considered getting new rotors. I may not do that unless I absolutely have to. I don't know if I'll do that. There's no reason to just waste money. And then get new tires. Now that's the second set of tires that we'll have put on it. And those wear. It just seems to me they wear out really quick. So that's going to be $400 or $500 for the tires. That's a little ouch there. So, but it's got to be done, and that'll get us to inspection. And then the next year, I'll go ahead and do the regular maintenance stuff. You know, change the fluids like in the rear end, the transmission. I've already done the transmission rear end once at 60,000 miles. So we got a little bit of time to go before we have to do it again. But Carolyn would like to do it early. Maybe change the belts and the hoses, that kind of stuff. Just so, you know, you don't want to invest a bunch of money into it and then something catastrophic goes wrong. So, you know, do a little bit here and a little bit there, and it's not so painful if something happens. You know, you put new tires on it, $400, and all of a sudden something blows up, and now you got tires just sitting around not doing anything. So I've even considered changing the tires myself, and I don't know if I want to do that or not. I can't balance them, so just we'll have them do it, I guess. But I guess I could do it at Walmart. I don't think they charge at Walmart. I don't remember them charging. That's where we went last time. But man, you got to wait forever. I mean, we were there all day. What do you do at Walmart all day? So, but the thing about this is I can only find 3 or 4 different types of tires, and all the prices are about the same. So, the last time I did this, we were traveling. We were in Texas when we did it, and it was just only place we get them was Walmart. So I ordered them, then we went over to Walmart, picked them up. I mean, I might check with some tire places and see what they're going to quote me on tires. We'll see. But I'm kind of glad that it seems to be resolved. You know, I keep saying this, and I hate that I'm saying it this way because it's not accurate. It's a good running truck. It really is. It's had a couple issues, and that's why I don't want to say it, because it's not really accurate. It's not a good running truck if you're having problems with it. But there just doesn't seem to be any major issues with it. It's scary issues. You know, I just did this lawnmower a while. I just told you about it in yesterday's video. Guy thought he needed a new engine. It just turned out that he put diesel fuel in the gas tank, and so it was smoking up a storm, and he thought it was a damaged engine. Well, no, it was just diesel. So you know, you panic thinking the worst when it just turns out that, oh no, I just put the wrong type of fuel in it. So, you know, $400, that was a little of a bit of a sting. I didn't want to spend that much, but when you look at a new car payment or even a used car payment, it's, you know, car payment is $400, $500 a month. And her son just bought a used car, and you know, he's put a lot of money into it already. New tires, starter, radiator, different things. So I mean, it wouldn't do us any good to go buy a used car, because then you're just buying somebody else's problems. Right now we're just fixing our own problems. And like I said, it's a solid truck. It's powerful. So I wouldn't need anything more powerful than that. I don't, you know, I'm not pulling a camper or anything. So we'll just keep it pieced together and hope for the best. It should last. It should easily last another 10 years. That would put me at 64 years old. And heck, by then my eyes may be totally bad and I won't be able to drive at all. So keep my fingers crossed that it hangs in there. So I guess I'll cut it off early again today. So if you'll click this up next box to take you a video over my other channel, it's a brand new video day. I really appreciate it. Go check it out. So if I can inspire you to hold it together so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.